But now he gently moved her aside. Better he push her away than them. He could do it tenderly, they would not, and he didn't want to hear her old bones crack. Listening to her sobs was bad enough. "Please, sirs, please don't take him. He's all I've got. I'll starve without him. Oh, merciful heaven, have pity. Take me instead, I don't care what you do to me, but don't hurt him, I beg you." Her swollen, twisted fingers grasped Giles's sleeve as if she could physically wrest him from their grasp. "Don't fret yourself, old woman. We've just got a small task we want him to perform, something that'll make his dear old mother proud." The old woman stared frantically from one to the other of the men towering over her, trying to make out which of them was speaking. But it was impossible to tell, for their mouths were hidden by the masks and their voices distorted. With all her strength, she tried to force herself between Giles and the Owlmaster who was gripping him, but the man lashed out with the back of his hand, catching the old woman across the mouth and sending her crashing against the wattle wall of the cottage. Giles, twisting himself free, ran to kneel over her, his hand braced against the wall as he tried to shield her with his own body. "Is this your ancient code of justice?" he demanded. "Beating defenceless women?" Too late, he glimpsed a flash of metal. A sharp iron talon stabbed into his hand, impaling it to the wall. Giles screamed. Blood streamed down his wrist and dripped into his mother's lap. 4 pairs of eyes, buried deep within the feathers of the owl masks, watched impassively as he writhed and sobbed. Finally, one of the Owlmasters wrenched the talon out and dragged Giles to his feet. "Next time, it will be your eyes, boy, and after that, you'll not be able to see where we are about to strike." Giles, trembling with pain, allowed himself to be led to the low door. "You'll see your son tomorrow, old woman, at the May Day Fair. In fact, he'll have the place of honour. Now you go back to your bed and see you keep your door shut and your mouth too." Giles knew his mother did not need to be told to hold her tongue. No one in those parts needed to be told that. As they dragged him out into the darkness, he glanced back at her. She stood in the dim yellow light of the solitary rush candle, tears streaming down her wrinkled cheeks, her hands clenched against her mouth. Even grieving must be done in silence. And as Giles prayed more fervently than he had ever done in his life for a miracle that would save him, a despairing voice inside him told him that miracles did not happen. Not for him. Not in Ulwick. May Eve, 1321. First night of Beltane. First kindling of the bell fire, the fire of light. On this night, the ancient blue ice goddess, Cailleach Bea, the old woman of darkness who reigns from Samhain to Beltane, throws her staff under a holly bush and is turned to stone. Beatrice. "I thought I heard a man dying in the great forest tonight, but now I'm not so certain. Maybe what I heard was a corpse rising to life. He was shrieking and pleading, but he wasn't begging for mercy. He'd challenged death to wrestle with him. He'd thrown back his head and demanded to suffer, as if he wanted the demons to do their worst and drag him down into the pit of hell. If he was human, then he must have been mad. Staring at the moon can make you run mad. Did you know that? And tonight the moon was round as a woman's belly swollen with child. That's when men should fear it most. I can't tell the other women what I saw, not even Pega. How could I explain to them what I was doing out there alone in the forest at midnight? I'm not a lunatic, if that's what you're thinking. Not like that madman. Unlike him, I hadn't gone into the woods trying to get myself killed, though I realized the dangers only too well. God alone knows how many deadly creatures slither and prowl.